Good evening. Happy Tuesday. It's a preview. It's Carabao Cup. It's Brighton at home. Let's get into it. Wayne, thank you for joining. I know you've got a terrible cold, but hopefully, actually, people might be pleased that it might be less speaking from you tonight.
Yeah, cheers, Tone.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, other than that, mate, I'm fine, thank you, dude. Well done for filling in on a Sunday. Obviously, that wasn't cold related, but nice little breakdown there, matey. But yeah, we'll crack
We'll
on
get that.
with.
We'll get into that. Before we get into the Brighton preview. I think it's worth discussing. Right, we're getting a lot of criticism because of again set piece. Although although it counts as a set piece, was it a set piece? Corner come in, it's been headed away, and Eze's volleyed it into the corner of the net. Now that's not a traditional set piece where someone's gone and headed it in. So I just think that. I mean, let's get into that. Let's discuss that, right? Because it's been quite sickening to listen to. I'll be honest with you. If we didn't beat Crystal Palace the weekend, the agenda would have been Arsenal bottled it. They had a chance to go 4 points clear, but they bottled it. Same old Arsenal. It would have been that agenda. But we found a way to beat a good side, a good quality, organised, well-drilled side. We found a way of doing that. And how many times, as Arsenal supporters, have we sat there and gone, we ain't got a plan B? We've got a plan B. All right, the plan B is working more than plan A at the moment, but it's still working. We're still putting the ball in the back of the net. I don't give a shit if it comes off the guy's knob. If one goes in the back of the net, who gives a shit? 3 points on the board.
That would hurt him, though, Tone.
Oh, there you go. The problem that we've got, right, is actually not a problem. Any supporter in the country, no matter what team you support, if you was to say to them, you're going to sit top of the league, right, and fight, what was it, 10 out of your 15 goals are going to be from set pieces, but you're going to be 4 points clear. Do you think any supporter would go, oh no, I'd rather not. I'd rather us score more from open play, or I'd rather us play pretty football? They wouldn't, would they? They really wouldn't. I think let me give you a quote from Jamie O'Hara at TalkSport. Now, we all know why he's bitter. That's not even, don't even have to mention that. Arsenal playing non-league football, long throws, corners, it's killing the Premier League. What's your take on that, Wayne?
Well, to be fair, Tone, there's a lot of things I've been thinking about today, and I just want to make sure I don't take too much airtime of that because I've got quite a bit to say. But I want to kind of condense it down as much as I can, Tone. And again, guys, I apologise if you're sniffing or whatever, but I will try to do it as best I can without being annoying with me constantly sniffing in my nose. But bear with me, I apologise, guys. In the past. Now, if you remember rightly, I brought this up with saying on someone on Twitter. And do you remember straight after the Invincibles, everyone would, that when Jose Mourinho joined Chelsea, and he was lauded as a special one. He was playing turgid football. He conceded 15 goals all that season, but he won. We went unbeaten. He just steadied the Chelsea ship, set it up a certain way, and scored. Scored the goals, 1-0, set up, boom. You know, there was no one was criticising Chelsea. He was the special one. Everyone's lauding in this guy. Look at him, blah blah blah. The problem is, Tony, is the media hates Arsenal.
Oh,
George Graham said it years ago. No one likes us, and that's part of our history. You have to take it on the chin with this media tone and all this backlash because they don't like it. The problem is, and the problem they're gonna go with in this narrative of we're ruining football and we're contributing to it. They don't like the fact that if we start playing football and having this in our repertoire, we can play any style of football now. Under Wenger, and again, you know, I don't have to reiterate it, and you know, my family, everyone that knows me and is watching, I love Wenger. Always have, always will do. He's a legend in my eyes. But we played fantastic football, but we were finishing fourth every year. You know, back end of his tenure, we won a few FA Cups. That playing great football doesn't necessitate success. You know, we had the players back when he was winning to do it. When later in the years we were playing great football, but we didn't have the spine. Sorry guys, I apologise. New words. We didn't have the spine. You know, we could play great football. You had your Fabregases, you had your Hlebs, you had your Rosicki's, you know, Van Persie. Sorry about mentioning, but if we had him, you had full, you know, players that were great. But you had Sendros at the back, you had Duru at the back, you know, you had Almunia in goal. You know, we've had teams that could play great football, but the backbone or you know the infrastructure just wasn't there. We'd get battered 8-2 at Man United, you know, 6-0 at Chelsea. You know, we used to get battered home and away against Man City in the you know, prior to Mikel coming along. I mean, we did get battered a few times with Mikel, but he was trying to get his stuff across. You know, the fact when sort of doing, we're looking like a team that because we're not scoring from open play, but we're scoring from set pieces, we're ruining football. Tone, Liverpool won it. There was a stat someone brought up on the thing that Liverpool won the under Klopp. They had like 40 set piece goals in about like a space of a season or whatever it was, or like a certain period of time. And you think to yourself, right, so that's contributed. Yet Liverpool fans now are joining the debate. Did you see Jeff Stelling as well on Talksport? Sorry, Tone.
Yeah, I was going to mention him as well. Yeah, well, I used to love watching him on Soccer Saturday.
Yeah.
But what are you on about, mate? Just
what is he on about?
Do you know what? Again, Danny Murphy, right? He's obviously Fulham, Liverpool, ex-Liverpool player, so he doesn't have to say this, but I you know, hold my hands up to him. Fair play. He come out and said, "Play to your strengths." And why would they not use that as a strength? He went, a lot of rival supporters are trying to stop us from corners, and I don't know if you noticed in the Crystal Palace game, there was moments where they were literally doing their utmost not to give away a corner. They'd rather give away a throw-in.
Of course, yeah.
So we've created fear in that area.
Of course it is, Tone.
But the thing is, what are we supposed to do, right? We've spent last season, right, trying to break down these low blocks because let's face it, every team we're playing at the moment, even Manchester City, man, fucking hand,
yeah,
they're sitting in. There's 2 banks of 4. What's Arteta supposed to do? He's got a plan B. Jova's, you know, he deserves a lot of credit because he's developed a tactical. Do you know what? How many corners did we get in a game under Wenger? And me and you sat there and going, we've had fucking 15 corners today, and not one of them has made a difference.
It never done. It didn't do a thing. Sorry, Tone. To add to that, we didn't have. This is what I'm saying, Tone. Like, I'm sorry, mate. Please, I'm going to go straight back to you. But we didn't have that, did we? We didn't have. We would sit there. We'd watch a game and we'd go, we're not going to do F all with this free kick. We're not going to do F all with this corner. We've done nothing with set pieces. Now we're a threat. As I said to you earlier, to step over my point, and I'll pass it straight back to you. There's fear, Tone. They fear the fact that we are winning games with our plan B, and they are scared when plan A hits because there's no stopping that either. You know. So, and another thing which you said, and we've had an agreement on it. And when you said on your match reaction, you're 100% right. And people are mentioning it on X all the time. What are we to do when and you've just said it, sorry, as well. They are sitting in, they have no ambition to attack. They are trying to hit us on the counter attack. And everyone's going, you know, if we, as you said as well, if we'd have failed to win against Crystal Palace, what would have been the narrative in the media, Tone? As you just said, bottle jobs. Oh, hang on a minute, Arsenal created a set piece. In fairness, Tone, all right, the set piece led to it, but what? Seriously, the set piece died the moment the defender headed the ball away. It's just that Eze was coming in, box crashing, and he's scored a fantastic goal. It wasn't the header. It was just, you know, and the set piece. What are you going on about? And another thing before I pass it back to you, Tone. At what point has football become you have to play great football and to win a game? As you've just said, and you put it quite elegantly, if the ball goes in off your knob, it's a goal. When you're kicking a ball around and you're kicking around as a youngster and you're not quite learnt the game, right? If it's me and you in Nan's Garden like it used to be, you was like, I want to score against me, I wanted to score against you. However we did it. If you're on a football team with 11 men, the goal is to put the ball in the back of the opponent's net and win the match. It shouldn't matter if it's from a set piece, a bloke's knob, his arsehole, his knee, his heel. Put the ball in
Yeah,
the back of the net, Tone. What is the
yeah.
point? Why are we killing football? How all of a
I,
sudden, because Arsenal were top of the league, scoring goals from set pieces, we're killing football. The aim of football is to win it however you can.
yeah,
Simple.
yeah. There's definitely a narrative against us at the moment,
It's blatant.
it's just like rather than actually coming out and going, do you know what? Right, I get the argument, right? I get the debate from a lot of pundits where they've gone, okay, they've scored a lot from set pieces, but what if they're having a game where they've not scored many from open play? And I think there was a stat that O'Hara read out, right? And I'll take his point on this, where he went, if you take away all the set pieces, Arsenal sit bottom of the league in terms of open play, goals scored, right? Now that can potentially be a problem, right?
Yeah.
But I will say I agree with that stat and I get it, right? But what my argument would that be against is teams don't open up for us.
Yeah.
So we've got to find a way to win a game of football, right? If it's going to come from a corner, if we end up winning the league this season and most of our goals have been scored from set pieces, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit, right? There's a trophy there.
Yeah.
We win a trophy.
No one gave a shit when Mourinho done it, Tone.
Exactly. No, Mourinho was a fucking genius when he done it.
Yeah.
He was a special
he
one.
was.
He was absolute fucking genius. But
exactly.
we've conceded 3 goals this campaign, and you got to give Arteta a bit of credit. As much as he has his doubt, there is question marks whether he can get us over the line. But you have to give him a bit of credit. He's found a plan B. We've not had a plan B for fucking years. There's been games where at the Emirates where it's been 0-0 or deadlocked, and we need a goal last minute. Look at Newcastle away. Would we have scored that last minute header from a corner if we weren't
exactly
working on our set pieces? Probably not, right? And the free kick Atletico Madrid, like Declan Rice, you could tell has been worked on. That free kick, that delivery, right?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do, right? So we just turn up and try and play football, and then low block. But then if Crystal Palace counter attack and score and win, Arsenal got no answer. Bottle jobs.
Yeah.
They could have taken advantage of Liverpool and City dropping points, and it's just like it generally is tiring to listen to. And you could just there's a fucking really bad agenda on it, and it's just really there's a lot of people. I get it, right? The
fact that Jeff Stelling's lumping in, like, I'm sorry, Tone.
Don't watch it then, mate. Fuck off. Don't watch it. Do not watch it.
I'll play entertaining football. Jeff, you've been commentating. You've been commentating. You've been on Saturday, hasn't he? And like I've just said, seriously, mate, like he supports Hartlepool. Don't tell me Hartlepool play great football. I want to watch a Premier League team like Arsenal. No, the fact is, like someone said, Tone, beautiful football got us nowhere. And this is in all due respect to Wenger because he sacrificed a lot. That's a whole different video, but it didn't get us anywhere. So you got to adapt.
Even the Invincibles, we got 12 draws.
Yeah,
there was games where we couldn't break down.
We were poor. We were poor, and we hung on, didn't we? We
couldn't break down a part.
We couldn't break them down. Wenger, in all due respect to the fact the football he played was phenomenal at times, but when it didn't work, we struggled because their plan B wasn't there.
Yeah, I think that we're obviously upsetting a lot of people because I think people are getting worried that we might be in with a chance. But look,
it's fear, Tone. It's fear.
Right, this is another thing I need to address before we move on to the preview after, because I feel like we're taking a lot of time talking about this shit. One thing I do want to say is a lot of people, Jamie Carragher being one of them, going, it's Arsenal's league to lose. It's fucking game. It's game week 3.
So it's all
We've only played 9 games.
Yeah.
How can you say that? How can you say, it's Arsenal's to lose? No. If you go back to last season or the season before, fucking Forest were probably top game week 9 or that or second. Like you telling me Bournemouth are challenging for the title, man.
Yeah, well, this is Tone. As you got to see, this is just a way to try to unbalance the fan base.
Yeah.
Because again, we're Banter FC. We were Banter FC. We're not Banter FC anymore. And the media, especially Jamie Carragher, listen. I just, as I said, and I've reiterated, I feel sorry for fans that have to week in week out listen to that guy and Gary Neville on Sky Sports, and you're paying that subscription. I feel sorry for them. But yeah, mate, that's just an agenda. It's that thing. And and Gary Neville did the same thing on the overlap. They're both doing it, and they're both saying, "Oh, it's Arsenal's to lose." How is it ours to lose after 9 games?
It's fucking nuts.
The season hasn't started. After 29 games, Tone, and we're 10 points clear, you can make a comment like that. There's a lot of football to play.
They're desperate. They're desperate to say we bottled it. They're desperate.
All the time.
Say, they've bottled it again. They've bottled it again.
And this is what annoys me, because Arsenal fans have got to pay to watch them, Tone.
Yeah.
You know, you have to pay Sky Sports subscription to watch these twats say the crap that they do, you know? And it's like, someone just tell them, but they won't, because they're getting paid for it. And Sky need it, because let's be honest with you, with Sky, it's not worth a pony anymore. Look at Amazon. Amazon's thing on football was top notch.
Yeah,
and it's far better than anything that Sky Sports puts out now. You know, but Sky Sports is still charging a hell of a lot of money for people to watch the football. And it's like, well, I've got an Amazon subscription at $8.99 a month. I've just watched the Champions League game, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If you were to put that up by maybe £2-3 and give me some extra Premier League games, I'd be more than happy with it, because their coverage of the football is far better and superior now than Sky Sports. Yet people have to do it because we have no choice, because they keep signing this multi-billion-pound bloody contract to show all the games. So you've got no choice. And you've got Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher for £20-30 a month, and you've got to listen to them twats, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tone.
That's right. I think let's move on to the preview.
Let's give them no airtime. Let's go.
You've got because I can see the old blood boiling in your forehead there, mate. Okay.
I could go for ages, and we haven't got a long time.
So, let's get into it. Arsenal Brighton.
Let's get on to the football. Let's get on to the pop.
Look, obviously, I think we're gonna see a bit of rotation this time. We have to, really.
Yeah.
We got a big game against Burnley. And another Champions League game, and then we're away to Sunderland. And then I didn't realise the North London derby is the weekend after.
North London derby's creeping up. Yep.
We've got a lot of maybe we see if Alfie wants to come on for a preview. We'll get him to jump on with us.
Yeah.
I think that I think tomorrow's going to be an interesting game. I think if I remember rightly, I think I got up 2023 where we actually lost to Brighton in the EFL.
Yeah, I know, dude. I remember
3-1 at the Emirates. So, do you know what? Brighton at the Emirates has not been a good stumping ground for us the last couple of years. Last season both fixtures were 1-1, so we've not got a great record against them in the last sort of, I'd say, 3 to 4 years. But overall, we do have a good record against them. But yeah, look, I think that going through Arteta's conference, there's a bit of injury updates as well. We've got William Saliba's definitely out for this game. Gabriel Martinelli apparently is a doubt. I can't see anything about Big Gabs. Is he out as well? I couldn't see anything about him.
No, as we'll delve into our 11, I don't think he's out. Again, obviously he was touch and go, but he insisted on playing to Mikel, and I think personally, if I was the manager, I wouldn't even get in the way of Big Gabs. You know,
I don't want to see him anywhere near that first 11. We should be going for every competition, but at the same time, I think the Premier League should be our priority right now.
Healthy rotation in this one. So I also think as well. Sorry, mate, in the Champions League, we'll get to that, but we need these next 2 games. Tone need heavy rotation, bud.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's bring up your starting 11 for the game. It's a good little segue there. No, I think that one thing that I'm a bit surprised with, Wayne, is we've kept Eze in there. Now, Eze's are only running fit number 10, natural creative number 10, right?
Yeah.
Would you risk him in a game like this? I know definitely. I agree with Saka not being there. Oh, Saka's got an illness, so he's a doubt apparently.
He yeah, he was. That's why he wasn't that great against Palace, who he struggling, wasn't he? He just got over. Yeah, the problem with it, Tone, is that obviously with these players, and I think with Saka as well, and I know we bemoan it all the time. Do
Yeah,
not be surprised if Saka starts as well.
yeah,
Let me finish your trail of thought, and I'll explain why I put Eza in, dude. But you
yeah.
finish
So,
what you was going to say. Sorry.
do you know what? I think it's a hard one really because we haven't got Madueke, right? So I
Yeah,
reckon I
definitely.
reckon naturally Madueke would have gone on that right hand side
Yeah,
when Yuri goes into the number 10 role, and then you
yeah,
put Eze on the bench, give him that rest that he needs. Um, but yeah, it's a strange one. I mean, again with Trossard as well, I'd
excuse
imagine
me.
that if
Sorry.
Martinelli's a doubt, he's going to
Yeah,
want to try and keep him fit for Burnley. So it's
yeah.
hard, really, because do you think he'll fire a few youngsters in there? I don't. What do you reckon?
Um, I'll tell you what it is. There's one a name I want to, if I'm going to not, hopefully not butcher it too much, but I think his name's Harriman Anus, and
Yeah,
he's a
yeah,
highly rated centre forward. He was in training in the pictures. What I was going to do, as I say, I personally think that Big Gabby needs a rest. So I think that back five picks itself.
yeah,
I think MLS knows how to play in it. You know, Mosquera's played in it. You know, Hincapié, I think, should make a debut. He's more so as well. He can cover left back, but I think for this one, I think go for an alternative back five. While I put Subamendi in, is because Subi's suspended for the Sparta Prague game. So
okay,
put
yeah,
him in. So if you're going to look at Norgard going in again, I'd give Norgard 60, depending on the game state, really, because obviously I think Norgard could end up starting against Sparta Prague. But why? Obviously, Trossard, we got no choice, I think, on the left hand side. If we had a Havertz, Erdegaard, Madueke fit, Jesus as well, you know, you could have that. But we haven't at the moment got a lot of rotation. I was going to put Dalman in, but I think what Sam was saying, obviously, Eza did come off against Palace. See if Eza can do something in the first 60 minutes, take him off again.
yeah. Then
One
what are you
year he
thinking
needs to
with him?
start and stay on. And
Yeah,
Moreno up top is because I would have put him in midfield, but I don't think Gyökeres should start either. With Martinelli getting injured, means that I would have put maybe dropped Moreno back. Eza would have been out of the starting 11 tone, and I'd have put Martinelli in. But I'm doing this because I think he's going to try to keep a few of the first teamers in. Don't be surprised again if we see a Saka, a Gabriel in there. You know, but I think a rotation like this, and yeah, as I say, keeps taking Eza off, so Eza doesn't do a full 90. So I think obviously give him 60, 70 minutes work his magic. I know what you're saying, but I just think obviously in terms of the fact that we've just lost Martinelli, dictates that you know you might have to put a Moreno up top because just don't think Gyökeres should start the game because he needs a rest, the boy. You know, he's running
yeah,
into the ground. You know, it's just a game where you can go, look, let's give him a night off, or at least give him 20 minutes at the end if you have to. You know,
yeah.
but
No,
our bench will be quite limited. Bones,
yeah.
as I say,
What? It's so
Max
frustrating the
Dowman's, you
injuries
know,
we've got, isn't it?
dude. The thing is, the depth that we've signed, it still means you're not sort of like struggling. You know, you can if you wanted to put Yock in again, but I think you know we're running to a point. Personally, for me, and this is an opinion that's not stating a fact, but it could be a case of you might see like the likes of a Havertz, a Madueke, and an Erdegaard for definite. But Havertz and Madueke, there's rumours that these guys are on the grass and doing whatever.
Yeah,
I think that he's going to hold them back into because if he brings them back and you know they get you don't want them to get picked for the Germany or picked for England and these silly internationals that are coming up again. You know,
yeah,
let's get them fully fit middle of November to December. That's when the busy, you know, that's when your busy, you know, games start to come thick and fast. You know, they'll be vital now. At the moment, I think we can hopefully, fingers crossed, ride the storm. I think as well, these next two games, Tone, should be about rotating and rotating in the right way as much as you can. But yeah, as I say, it's a massive shame we haven't got Madueke because yeah, Saka swapping him and Saka is going to be vital throughout the season. Yeah,
yeah,
same with Martinelli, sort of as a Trossard, you know.
Yeah, it might be. It might be an opportunity for some youngsters to get some minutes. I think Darwin should get some minutes, definitely.
As I'm saying,
Um,
I'm in the listen. As I say, mate, I think if I'm not mistaken, I correctly predicted his 11 that he played, which I said Trossard was in, didn't I? And he picked every
yeah,
player, so that's the first time this season that I've got one right. I don't think I'm going to get it right with this lineup.
no,
And
I
listen, if
think
he
he's going to go
surprises
pretty
me,
strong at the start.
I reckon he would, mate. But Dalman does obviously definitely needs to be exposed to a bit more cup games, and again in midweek, I would obviously look at that as well, Bones. Sparta Prague are no mugs, but I think that's a game that you can kind of look at,
With
play
some
the usual
rotation.
game that we do, rotate it. We're strong defensively anyway. Let's not risk anyone that don't need risking. You know, it's just a game at the moment you can not write off. Um, but I think just we got some big games coming up that we need to kind of focus on. And I think these two are one of them. I want us to go in the Carabao Cup. I've already said that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I think the Sparta Prague tone as well should be looked at and go, all right, we will drop a few players drop in there. Like MLS should, in my opinion, MLS should be playing both of these games.
yeah,
The boy's not played a lot, and he should be first name on the team sheet because you're going to need that kind of youthfulness. And Wanyeri as well should start both games.
yeah. No, I agree. I hope he does rotate heavily. Now, the question you're going to get right is
Yeah.
if we lose this game, I think Arteta's going to come under a lot of stick in the terms of, he ain't won a trophy, he's just thrown one away.
Oh, listen, mate, you will because you got to realise that it's again it's anything to beat the stick with. What you have now, and I don't know if obviously back in the day there'll be the older generation of because as you got to realise this is internet based as well. When there
Yeah,
was anyone digging Arsenal out, it was through the papers back in the 70s, 80s, early 90s, and that's where George Graham was coming from. It's in our history. People hate us, so blah blah blah. Um, people don't really like Arteta. We've got some of our own fan base that don't like Arteta, which is obviously not really a great thing really. But that's just neither for me to change anyone's opinion. But I think as well that the dislike from Arteta is also it's sort of like when Arsenal fans are listening to the media, listen to the tracks on AFTV, listen to people that have got opinions where I dislike Arteta, and if you're constantly listening to these kind of people, Tone, your head they're going to start to sway you a little bit. You have to look at the facts. The facts are against him. Is he's only won. He's won an FA Cup and he's had a couple of mini trophies um, which also, by the way, the comment I made about the Community Shield or
yeah,
whatever it's called now.
yeah,
The reason I made that tone, right, is that when it's Arsenal, it's not a trophy. When it's Man City, when it's Liverpool winning it, Liverpool got their first trophy this season. Man City have, but Arsenal claim it's a trophy, and we're getting dug out. This is what you're against. So this is, I think it's important, and I think that reflects his starting 11. That maybe you might see what I've picked tonight, it will be the opposite. So he may, if Declan Rice is fit enough, he may even end up starting him,
yeah. I hope he
and he
doesn't.
may
I hope he
rotate
doesn't.
3 or 4. He may
Yeah,
because you know he's got an agenda against him. He's well aware of that. I can tell you that. I think any Arsenal fan knows that there's a little bit of pressure on anything. You lose this game, people are going to go, here we go again. As you've just said, he's thrown away a title, a cup, an opportunity for silverware. So I think you'll see a much more stronger side tomorrow than at Sparta Prague. I mean, I would go for that pick because I want people to rest. But don't be surprised if he does go a little bit stronger and he eases off in the Champions League a bit. Because you think about it, we could, like you said, do you remember your statement about the Bilbao game where Arsenal would come in, stink the place out, nick a couple of goals, and bugger off.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
to Sparta Prague and do that, Tone, and go for it against Brighton. Go for it against Brighton, stink the place out against Prague, come away with a draw or a win, and you move on. But yeah, I could have maybe that lineup Tone could more be Sparta Prague if you think a bit deeper. He may
yeah.
want to go for it tomorrow a little bit more. Rest a few, but go for it with a bit of a stronger lineup than what I've done.
No, fair enough. Yeah, I think yeah, let's start wrapping up because
Yeah,
see you're struggling a little bit there, dude. What's your
yeah,
prediction?
again, guys, thanks for bearing with me, and I apologise to those watching and yourself, Tone. But
No,
I wanted
you're
to get it
right.
out because I missed out the match reaction on Sunday. But yeah, thanks for bearing with me, matey. You know what? I do believe tomorrow, if depending on the team, I think it'll be like a 2-1 Tone. To us, I think Brighton may nick a goal. But you know what would be a touch would be if Hertzler thinks to himself, you know what, I'm not really feeding a cup run, and he might put a few of his youngsters out. But yeah, we have to. In my opinion, I've already said it's the least priority trophy, but let's go for it. So I'm going to say 2-1. In mind, let's try and go for this as well, Tone, as best we can. What do you think,
Yeah,
matey?
I'm going to say 1-0. I think it's going to be
Yeah,
another. I think it's going to be another cagey game where
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that Arteta will set us up again. Not to get counter-attacked on, because Brighton are going to sit. We've got players like Dunk that will defend really well.
yeah,
Also, I think one player we need to watch out for is Danny Welbeck. I think he'll be up for this game.
yeah,
And
definitely, mate.
he's hit a little bit of form as well in recent couple of weeks. So
Listen. We
um,
can't. We've seen him live. We've seen him at the Emirates. He's an Arsenal player. He was an Arsenal player for 5 years, and if it weren't for injury, he was
would have been
he
all
was a
right.
handy player. And
Yeah,
he's a good player. I'm not saying he was elite level. I'm just saying he was a good player. He had a couple of bad
yeah,
injuries, and it stopped him. So yeah, you're right, 100%. And as I say, do you think that this is where I'd say my lineup of what I would do? I think Big Gabs is going to start, and you may see
yeah.
maybe an
I'll be.
Incapia. You may see MLS in midfield. He
I'll
might,
have to.
but I'm just saying. I think he's going
Yeah,
to play him. So
I'll be extremely frustrated if he starts Big Gabs. I mean, because
yeah,
he's not 100%. I'd rather him go in and
he
Burnley,
needs to be
favour for
rested.
Burnley.
Yeah,
And we've got Joe Watt as well. We've got enough defensive cover that can go in
we
there,
have.
right? You've got Calafiori, right? Who look, if I'm being honest, Calafiori has been really good at left back, but
Yeah,
you can take the risk on him in playing left-sided centre half and putting
I'd
Kepe with
agree.
left
I
back
agree with you, Tone.
or
I agree with
MLS.
you. Yeah,
In the know that if he does pick up a knock, you've got MLS that can play against Burnley. You've got Nkape that can come in. We've got cover in them areas. Gabs doesn't need to
yeah,
play. He doesn't need to play in this
100%.
game. There's enough there, and there's enough quality there to come in and do a job in this
Of course there
game.
is. If he's
So
worried, stick Califu. If Califu is good, I mean,
Calafiori, yeah,
only thing I would say, Tone. Apparently, he had a bit of fatigue and he had a little kind of knock. So you
yeah,
might. But again, I think obviously I don't think Big Gab should start. That's why I went with that back five. But what I'm saying to you
yeah,
is, don't be surprised if he's kind of going. If I can squeeze someone else in, that he may end up doing that.
yeah.
But it's all
I
it
get
is
why.
because I think it's a Premier League opposition, and I think if it was a lower league, I think
Yeah,
he'd go with that back line.
I get,
But yeah,
I get why. I get why he would do that for a bit of experience back there as well. Because if he puts Nkape and Mascara at centre halves, and the MLS on the left, then White. Although White's quite experienced, I think he'd. But then there's no real leader at the back there, is there?
no,
You could
that's the
say,
thing, dude.
that would be the worry. But yeah. Well, look, looking forward to it. Hopefully,
Listen, we're at home, Tone. We
hopefully,
got to make it count. Let's make it
hopefully
count.
we score another set piece just to wind all these fuckers up. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And then yeah. On that note, please like and
Set piece
subscribe.
FC.
We yeah, please like and subscribe. Set Piece FC. It's called the Set Piece Booth now, not the Gooner Booth.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Bring it on.
No,
Tone.
it is what it is. We take it on the chin. We're rent free and a lot of supporters' heads right now, and pundits' heads, shall I say?
We are. Drink it all
Can't handle
in
it.
and enjoy the tears. Enjoy the
Can't handle
tears
it.
when it comes. Enjoy
Yeah,
the tears when it comes.
hopefully a lot more for it to come. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's it from us. Wayne, thank you for joining. Hope you feel better.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Have a good
Take care,
evening.
guys. Thank you.